Okay, what's up, YouTube and LinkedIn? I'll put this on LinkedIn. I don't use the X anymore. Right, this nasty, disgusting platform, man. Nasty. Okay. All those girls on there, they should have opened a book instead of their legs. Right? Nobody ever told them to do that. Anyway, so it is Wednesday afternoon over here in Cambodia, and I'll talk about something here in a minute, but first, maybe I've got a couple more subscribers, man. Thank you guys. I don't know who you are. Sometimes they tell me, sometimes they don't, but whoever subscribed to my channel, I had 2 more subscribers. I really appreciate it. Thank you so very much. Okay. My views on my shorts sometimes are, they're decent, man. They're 600, 700, 800 views, man. I know that they're not like the big, the big channels, but nevertheless, I'll take it. It's okay. But my long videos like this one, not getting a lot of views, man. Just not getting a lot of views. I don't really have the time. Well, I'm going to make the time, okay? I don't really have the time to get in my car and to drive around Cambodia and film all the different things you guys can see if you come over here for on vacation, or you move here, you decide to move here, right? All you get to see is just my ugly face in this camera all the time, okay? Which is the same thing on the shorts. I mean, the shorts is the shorts. It's only 3 minutes, You can tolerate my ugly face for 3 minutes, man. I do every day in the mirror. So, but anyways, I had a young lady that was supposed to go around Cambodia. She has a car, okay, has a phone with a camera, obviously, go around and make YouTube videos. Her English is very good, okay? A little bit scratchy, but no problem understanding her, okay? And I had told her she said she wanted to do it at first, okay? There's a couple reasons I can't do it, okay? I'll tell you why. Well, I'm going to do it, but anyways, I told her that she said, "Where do you want me to go?" And I said, "I don't know. You know your country. Go around. Go film some cool looking things, man. People want to see." I said, "I will pay for all of your gas. Okay? I'll give you money. I'll pay for all of your gas. I'll pay for your hotel. Okay? I'm not going to put you in a 5-star hotel, but I'll put you in a nice little hotel. Okay? I'll pay for your food and your time. Okay? I'll pay for all of those things." She said, "How long?" And I said, "I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 days, however long, I don't know, maybe you get tired after a few days, right? You go from one place to the next, and you're tired, you want to come back home and lay in your bed and see mom and dad, 3 or 4 days, that's cool." She said, "All right, that sounds like a deal." Okay. I was going to get somebody to make videos for me, YouTube videos, somebody speaks English. We were supposed to meet up today. Didn't happen. Okay, so said she's a girl. Family doesn't want her driving around by herself. And I'm like, well, there's enough unemployed son of a bitches over here. Bring a guy with you, man. A brother, a cousin, a friend, an uncle. Okay? Bring somebody with you. Okay? Obviously, I can't go with her because, right, my wife trusts me. I don't think anything appropriate would happen, but people would assume that it does. So the reason I didn't really want to go, but I'm going to have to go, I really have no choice, is when I say fear, I'm not scared of a lot of things, man. I ain't scared of these little baby-ass, little flip-flop wearing, 5'5" Khmer men, okay? I'm 6'3" and weigh 235 pounds, man, and I can handle myself, okay? So, but my fear is the car is going to break down. I'm going to get someplace, maybe get lost. Maybe some dumbass in a moto is going to run into me. The police are going to come and nobody's going to speak any English. And Cambodia being a third world country, sometimes, I have translated on my phone, but sometimes it's difficult to get an internet connection, okay? So that was my fear of something happening and I not being able to communicate correctly, right? Okay, so, but I've run out of options. I just don't really have anybody else. My wife can't go. She has to stay here and take care of, we have flowers and we got a dog and my daughter going to school and, you know, all those things. Okay. So I'm going to be going by myself. Okay. And I'm going to film as many things as I can. Okay. Maybe it will help. Maybe it won't. I don't know. Maybe you guys want to see more than just my ugly face on a screen. So, I went for a bicycle ride yesterday, like I normally do around the villages around here. Okay. Everything living in a third world country is not all puppies and balloons. I'm telling you, it's not. Okay. A lot of you people have never even left the country. I have people sending me all the time messages about coming to Cambodia. I ask them, do you have a passport? No. How do you not have a passport? How does somebody not have it? They're only like $130, man. If you don't have a passport and something big happens, okay, martial law or the Insurrection Act or just any number of things in the USA, one of those super volcanoes explodes or just any number of things, okay? Without a passport, you cannot leave. They will not let you even in the international part of an airport without seeing your passport. You can't buy a ticket without a passport because when you're buying your ticket online, you have to enter your passport number, okay? You have to enter your passport issue date and your passport expiration date. And like I said, obviously your passport number, it has to be on the ticket that you purchase. It has to be done correct, okay? So you have to have a passport in order to leave, okay? I guess you can do like the shitheads that sneak across the border, come up to the United States, okay? I guess you can sneak across maybe into Canada or Mexico, but you ain't going to be leaving a whole lot by you going there, man. So anyways, I've been to a lot of different third world countries. This is not the first one, okay? I lived in Panama for, I'm going to call it 2 years. It wasn't quite 2 years, but I'm going to call it 2 years. I lived in Panama. Not Panama, Florida, Panama, the country, okay? I've been to Belize. I've been to Honduras. I've been to El Salvador. Obviously, I've been to Mexico a lot of times. When you go there now, it's kind of scary. I have been to a lot of third world countries, okay? Reason being, they're cheap, okay? I've also been to some nice countries, okay? When I was younger, I went to Germany to go on a tour in Stuttgart, Germany, to the Porsche plant, to the Porsche factory, to the Porsche racetrack. I just wanted to see it. So anyways, I've been to Europe. I've been to Luxembourg. I've been all throughout Asia. I've been a lot of different places, okay? Third world countries have a problem, okay? People here are poor and they're ignorant and they're lazy, okay? That's the reason they're poor, okay? It's the absolute reason they're poor is because they're lazy, they're ignorant, and they're nasty, okay? So, with that being said, I just see what they do over here with the rubbish. They pick up rubbish. It costs, I live in a subdivision, and they charge us $5 a month. That's only $1.25 a week. And they come a couple times a week, man. Sometimes only one, but sometimes they come a couple times a week and pick up the trash. And it's only $5 a week, man. That's $1.25. $5 a month. That's only $1.25 a week, man. But people here won't do it. Okay? I put a video, you can go look at my video on. I put a video on where there is just rubbish everywhere as you go. Okay? Where I live at, in the subdivision, they don't allow that. Okay, you got to have a trash can. You got to put, but you get out of this subdivision I live in, and you get in these villages around here, man, they just throw rubbish in piles, and I'm talking piles of it, piles like big as cars, and it just goes on for as far as you can see. And when the pile gets so big, somebody, I don't know who, if the government does it or the people do it, they pour some kind of flammable liquid on that shit. They set it on fire, and it just burns for days. There's tires in there, all kind of shit, just black smoke just pouring off. That can't be good for you. Okay? That cannot be good for you. Okay? Sometimes they have these big trucks, you know, like big rigs or whatever. They get in an accident. They're falling apart. Okay? They disassemble them. Okay? But they only want the metal. So what they do is they have these places where they take these big trucks or trailers, like dump trucks or these tractors or these big trailers, and they set the son of a bitches on fire. They put them on fire. And those fires will burn for days. And like I said, black smoke is just pouring off of them. Okay? And then when the fire is done, it has melted off all the plastic on the wire. Okay? The only thing that's left is the metal. They will leave the tires on the son of a bitch and everything. And the whole damn thing is just smoke pouring off. Okay? That cannot be good. Okay? And you dumbasses, you liberals who want to ban straws, right? I'm saving the planet. I'm driving a fucking Prius. No, you're not. You're not saving nothing. Okay? Let me tell you something. Like I said, Cambodia is my home. I live here not because of the beauty. There are some nice places, but I don't live here because of the beauty. I live here because it's hella cheap. Okay? But when I fly on an airplane, okay, when I have flown into Cambodia, I have flown into other places in Vietnam, just different places, especially in Southeast Asia, okay? The plane is on the descent, which means it's coming down. You cannot see the city because of the smog, because of the smoke. Sometimes Phnom Penh has the worst air quality in the world. Okay? Some days it's the worst air quality in the world. The government says, oh, it's just somebody's paying them to say that, but that's not true. I have flown on enough airplanes, and you cannot even see. You should be able to see the city, okay? You should be able to see the city from a distance up, I'm going to say at least 20, 30,000 feet. I don't know whatever distance it is. I'm not knowledgeable. But you should be able to see the city. I have flown enough planes. I can see San Francisco. I can see other places, other cities I've flown into from quite a distance up. But you get into Cambodia and you can't see the city until you're underneath the cloud of smog and pollution. Okay? People breathe that shit every day. Okay? They have thousands of these little motos that they ride around on that are two-cycle. And for you people that don't know what two-cycle engines are, you have to mix the oil and the gas. And that shit comes out to exhaust. Okay? They have no emission controls over here, none whatsoever. Okay? Diesel trucks going down the road just pouring out black smoke. So, for you people, I got a special thumbnail for you. For you people that think that you can save the planet by doing your little LED lights and electric lawnmower and all that shit, man, that is just insane. Okay? Let me tell you something about rice that you don't know. Okay? All these Asian countries, man, they eat rice every meal. There is rice growing everywhere. Okay? When the rice is harvested, okay, they put it on these big tarps and they let it dry, and they have these people out there in the sun with these rakes moving it around constantly so it's drying. Okay? But the plants, the rice plants, whatever they call them, the rice bush or plants, whatever, are still in the field. Okay? In order for them to plant new rice, they got to flood that field. And they got to, before that happens, they got to get rid of the stalks or whatever you want to call it that the rice was on. And you know how they do it? You know how they do it? I'm going to show you right now. They do it with fire. Okay? They just set the shit on fire. Okay? They just, fields are just on fire and smoke is just pouring out everywhere. Okay? They don't care. Okay? They don't care about the environment. Okay? Raw sewage goes into the ocean. A lot of these third world countries, their dumps are right next to the sea, and they just shove the trash onto these barges, and they take them out into the sea, and they just dump them into the ocean. So you can try to save your planet. You can talk about global warming and the ice cubes and the icebergs, and you can talk about whatever you want, okay? But these third world countries don't give a flying F about your saving the planet, okay? They don't care, okay? It sucks. It's the way it is, okay? And I know I've never been into China. I'm not stupid. But China opens up a new coal-fired power plant maybe like every 3 weeks, man. Okay? Like I said, that's one of the things about living in a third world country that sucks. Okay? Sometimes the air quality is so bad, I don't go outside. I just stay in here. I don't exercise outside. I just pretty much stay in the house. We have 5 air conditioner units. Okay? Our house stays cool. We have filtration systems. Inside of my house, clean as a whistle, man, okay? But you go outside sometimes, okay, and you think your car is dirty. Man, I just cleaned that shit. I just cleaned it, right? And you wipe your hand on it, and it looks like dust, but it's soot. It's soot. And in case you guys don't know what soot is, which probably a lot of you don't, what comes from smoke, okay? And what they're burning. So, like I said, living in a third world country is not for everyone. Okay? Some of the schools, like the one my daughter goes to, absolutely fantastic. Okay? The doctors that I go to, fantastic. Okay? The cost of living over here is beyond fantastic. Okay? But these uneducated, and I'm talking uneducated, dumbass people that just burn shit all over the place, don't have enough sense to even think about what they're doing to the environment, okay? Not too far from my house, there's like, I don't know if you want to call it a river or a stream, whatever, it's fairly good size. It's probably about as wide as this room. It is full of trash. People are fishing in there all the time, man. They have these things called microplastics, but they don't know about that shit over here, man. And I ain't gonna try to tell them. So anyways, if you guys can hit like and subscribe, okay? I put a thumbnail on here, man. You guys are gonna find that shit's weird, okay? You're gonna find that shit's kind of weird, okay? Look at it and see, man. Tell me what you think, okay?